Welcome back, folks. Well, 1.0 was a big patch, mostly focused on the rework of the maps into HD map conversion, revamp, whatever you want to call it. So Wargaming was busy, preoccupied, and there were no hidden vehicles added in 1.0. However, 1.0.1 is currently live on the test server, and this time around, there are a few new vehicles added. So let's do what we usually do, and let's take a sneak peek at these new hidden vehicles. Now this time around, it's only 1.5 new vehicle, and the 0.5 goes towards the WZ-111 QL, which is like a Beijing Opera-esque of a 5A. So it has a skin, it's Chinese server exclusive, it's likely a premium tier 10, so it will never see the light of day on the other clusters because it's a premium tier 10. Likely has a bonus to the credit making, like the gold Type 59 or the Beijing Opera 113, so yada yada. But today we're mostly focused on this vehicle, the Centurion 5-1 RAAC, the Royal Australian Armour Corps. So this is an Aussie premium tier 8. It's a British premium tier 8 medium, but it's like the Sentinel AC4 or the AC1, but it's a power creep. Spoiler alert, but it is basically a power creep over a power creeping vehicle. It's even better than the STRV-81, the Primo Victoria. Yep. How do you make a Primo Victoria better? Well, you give it more armor. So for this vehicle, it has the same armor as the 7-1, basically bolting or welding a 50mm plate onto the upper glacis. It has a better engine power of 50 more than the Primo Victoria, so it's actually a little bit faster to rev up. Has more armor, and the same gun, same DPM, same accuracy, better dispersion than the Primo Victoria and the Centurion Mark 1/Mark 3 at tier 8. But you thought we were done with the power creep. You thought a year ago that the STRV-81 was pretty power creepy enough because back then the Centurions weren't buffed. They still had the 150mm turret front, whereas the STRV-81 with the Primo Victoria had 250. So yeah, that was power creep. It had better engine power. But now this has better upper plate armor, more engine power, even more engine power. And it's a premium tier 8 for the British. Why would you ever want to buy the FV4202? Just so underwhelming for the 4202. You just don't even need it. Now this vehicle has a special 100-gallon external fuel tank in the back. So that's the trapezoid box thing. But I wonder if there is a hit marker or hit model for this back part of the fuel tanks. And if you catch on fire, if it gets penetrated, that would be hilarious. But likely it's going to be like empty model, so it's not even there, like the bristle rack or the toolboxes, so it's likely not even there, but who knows. So for this tank, it's basically a modified Centurion with more armor at the front and better engine power. That's it. Visually, it looks different because no mud guards for the frontal road wheels or drive wheels. There are hooks for the upper plate, likely for the road wheels. Now for the 5-1, they have two coaxial machine gun. One's a 30 caliber for the infantry, one's a 50 caliber for ranging shots for the 20-pounder. It's a Type B barrel, so similar to the STRV-81, but yeah. This tank has better dispersion with the accuracy, so yeah, that's fun. It's a power creep of a power creep of a power creep. Power creepception. So here is the main comparison. You'll see the power creepiness. So we have the Centurion, standard configuration, 100% crew, yada yada. We have the STRV-81, the Primo Victoria without the camo bonus, the 5-1, the FV4202, and a 7-1 with the Type B barrel, the 20-pounder. So you can see the difference, but Comparing the normal Centurions at tier 8, you can see that the gun performs basically the same. Same DPM, same reload, turret traverse, gun depression, gun elevation, accuracy, aim time, yada yada, all the same. But this vehicle has 50 less health, so similar to the FV4202. However, it has the same armor at the front as the 7.1, 120mm upper plate. Now this armor is not that great for the 7.1, it's workable, but at tier 8, it's a lot better than 76mm. A lot better. Same turret, so same bouncy turret with a small cupola. Alright, so that's already power creepy enough, but it has 50 more horsepower under the bonnet. Same top speed, same reverse speed. Better horsepower per ton ratio. It weighs more, so better at ramming. It's faster to ram at the same top speed. Camo rating is not as good, but it's better than the Centurion, surprisingly, alright? The same view range, same radio. This is a power creep, right? This is a premium. It earns more credits and crew XP than the normal tank. It's even better than the Swedish version because the better armor on the front and the engine power. And compare this to the 20-pounder Type B barrel on the 7.1, it has better horsepower per ton ratio. Not as good DPM because obviously it's a tier 8 compared to a tier 9, but the same armor. Better at the rear as well by 7, but why would you ever want to buy the FE4202? The FE4202 doesn't have the DPM configured. Not my version. I don't have the rammer. That's unfair, right? Not the rammer. Yeah, take off all the stuff, not the crew. But yeah, the FE4202 doesn't have the DPM as the 5.1 or the 7.1 or the STRV81. Doesn't have the DPM. The same health, yeah, but the armor sucks. The turret armor also sucks compared to the Centurions. It's way less. Doesn't have the horsepower per ton ratio. Doesn't have the view range. Why would you ever want to buy the FE4202? Talk about power creep. You think the STRV81, the Primo Victoria, was power creepy enough prior to the buff on the Centurions with the turret switch? Well, Wargaming is like, hold my beer. We have the quota of new premiums per month, and for next month, it's the 5.1 with more armor at the front for the hull and better engine, and it's a premium. Why would you ever? Why? It's such a good tank. It could be worthwhile if this is a tier 9 with a little bit better DPM. If you buff the DPM a little bit better, it could work as a pseudo personal mission season number 2 reward at tier 9. It's not bad, but this is a premium tier 8. Talk about power creep. I mean, you think the STRV81 and the Primo Victoria is good? Well, we have a little bit more. So, God. Next, we have the WZ111 QL, which is like a Beijing Opera version of the WZ111 5A. It has a special skin, more alpha, at the cost of reload time. So that's the only trade-off. The same armor, same health, same mobility, same view range, all the stuff are the same. The only difference is the reload time. The accuracy is the same. The DPM is about the same. Same gun depression, elevation, yada yada. Turret turns a little bit faster. So there are some downsides, there are some upsides to having more alpha at the cost of reload. Obviously, it's better at trading shots per shot because you have more alpha. But the downside is you cannot permatrack. But then again, it's a large ass gun. It's 130mm, so you probably don't have enough rate of fire to permatrack, but yeah, that's the only trade-off. So it doesn't have a actual model for the test server because it's a premium tier 10. It's Chinese server exclusive, so you have to import the model from the Chinese server. That's why I have the Beijing Opera 113 model. I mod the test server and you can see the 113 Beijing Opera, but it's a special skinned 113. It likely makes more credits like the gold Type 59 or this vehicle right here. So for the QL, it probably has the same comparison, but it's like only Chinese server exclusive. So it's like the Edelweiss or the Nameless for the Asian server. So for the rest of the other servers, we likely won't see it. But already mod the test server, that's why you can see the Edelweiss and the Nameless, but exclusive vehicles, I guess. So alright, half of a U-tank, half of a hidden vehicle, if you will. And there you have it, folks. The power creep over the power creeping STRV-81 or the Primo Victoria. We never got the blank version, but yeah, it has better armor for the upper hull, and therefore you don't have to hide it as often as with the other Centurions, and it's faster to rev up. The same terrain resistance, has better dispersion for the gun, the same DPM, same accuracy, aim time, same health, better view range than the FV4202. So for a tier A premium British medium tank, even though it's Australian origin or Australian import, it's still, yeah, pretty good compared to the FV4202. So why would you ever want to buy the FV4202? You shouldn't, when there's something like this that exists. Talk about power creep. Wargaming is like, you think about power creep? But wait, there's more! I mean, I think it's about a year since we reviewed the STRV-81 on the test server, and everybody thought, holy crap, it has more turret armor and a better engine than the Centurion Mark 1/Mark 3 at tier 8. And everybody was like, yeah, power creep, what did you expect? But this is a power creep over the power creep. I mean, it's workable now. I mean, in today's meta, where you have OPS tier 10s and OPS premiums, it's actually moderate, right? I mean, still, if you ever played the Centurions currently or the Carnarvon, the turret front is almost impenetrable unless you're being shot at by the Jagdpanzer E100 or with high explosive, but that's very rarely the case. So this turret front, it's pretty hard to pin. Like really hard for other tier 8s, let alone tier 7s or tier 6, or sometimes tier 9 as well. But the upper plate gets boosted, so you don't have to be that cautious being hauled down. You can be more flexed or more relaxed with the haul downness, because sometimes they hit your upper plate at a bad angle, and that also bounces while you're hauled down. So power creep over power creep. I mean, just give it 105 and call it the Mark 5/2, and we'll be done with it. So there are no benefits of being a Australian import, so it's only by name, like with the Sentinel AC1 or the experimental AC4-ish. So, okay, but yeah. It would be funny if there's a collision model for the fuel tanks in the back, or for the gigantic fuel tank, the 100-gallon additional armored fuel tank in the rear. So this is only like 38 millimeters. If this gets pinned, and if the vehicle catches on fire 100% of the time, it's still not balanced. It's still a power creep compared to the STRV-81. But that would be funny if artillery shells hit this area and pins and you're set on fire. That would be funny, but there you go, folks. The new hidden vehicles added in patch 1.0.1. I want to do a separate video for the 5.1, but I thought it's like the Centurions or the STRV-81, but power crept, and that's it. So I thought, might as well squish the vehicles review into the hidden vehicle video as well. So 2 video in 1, I guess. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Metal on attention, begging you to touch and go.